Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear all. This is Zakarullah, lecturer in medical laboratory technology. Today we will learn about the different types of incubator, their working principle and their uses. Coming to the introduction of our topic, incubators are those machines, those equipments which are used to maintain a constant internal environment in a limited space. These are also called incubation chambers or incubators. The internal environments which are changed or which are contained constant, these may be temperature, these may be humidity and gas concentration. So inside incubation chamber we control these three different environmental conditions. Incubators, these can be a cold type or hot type. Cold type incubators, we call them cold because we maintain the temperature which is below the outer side, the atmospheric temperature. Usually these type of incubators, they maintain temperature below 22 or 20 degrees centigrade. As we know that the room temperature or the outside the atmospheric temperature, it is around about 20 to 30 degrees centigrade. So the cold incubators, they maintain the constant temperature and the constant environment below the temperature of 20 degrees centigrade. And the hot type of incubators, they maintain the constant temperature above the 30 degrees centigrade or above the atmospheric conditions. So these are the two types of incubators on the basis of temperature. Components and functions which are present inside the incubation chambers. Heat source is usually an electric element. Inside incubation chamber, the heating is achieved by hot air, hot water or hot oil, and a fan for hot air is present inside incubation chamber or incubator, or for hot water or oil usually a pump is present and it is circulated throughout the chamber by this fan or this pump. Outside the incubation chamber there is a casing which insulates the whole incubation chamber or the whole incubator and protect it from the outer atmospheric conditions. Inside incubator, the humidity is controlled by a heating of water at a constant level, at a controlled level at the base of the incubation chamber. So humidity is also controlled with the help of heating water. Inside the incubation chamber, the gas concentration, it is controlled by a regulator, and this regulator is present outside at the body of the incubation chamber. Along with these, an extra glass doors which is also present. This door is next to the main door of the incubation chamber and it is used for the protection of any kind of leakage of the atmospheric condition which is inside the incubation chamber. So this door gives us an extra protection to the experiments or to the samples which is under process inside the incubation chamber. And some incubation chambers have sensors of temperature, humidity or gas concentration which is connected with the buttons that are outside the incubation chamber, and with the help of these buttons we can control or we can regulate the humidity, gas or temperature of the incubation chamber. And some designs of incubators, they have alarm systems, and that alarm system rings and it is activated if the condition inside the incubation chamber they are changed or they are deviated from the set values. So the alarm system activates and it sounds. Now we will learn about the different types of incubators on the basis of the sample which are being incubated in this. So most commonly the incubators which are used in the microbiology or in the medical laboratory or in hospital or research laboratory, these kind of incubators, these are the simple incubators in which only the temperature is regulated, it is controlled. So these type of incubators are called the simple incubators, and we usually incubate any bacterial cultures, any fungal cultures, or any other kind of blood samples or body fluids. So these are incubated in simple incubators. Anaerobic incubators are that kind of incubators in which oxygen inside the incubation chamber, it is replaced with the nitrogen to provide anaerobic condition to the sample which is being incubated. And these kind of incubators, these are usually used to culture the anaerobic bacteria. Carbon dioxide incubators, these are the type of incubators in which the air inside the incubation chamber, it is replaced with a mixture of 5 to 10% carbon dioxide in the air, and this condition is achieved by either release of carbon dioxide in the chamber or by the release of the required mixture inside the chamber. So carbon dioxide incubators are being made with the such processes. These kind of incubators, these are used to culture microorganisms or tissue cells which require carbon dioxide for their survival and their cell division. Cell culture incubators, these are the most complex and sophisticated types of incubators. The atmosphere inside the incubation chamber is controlled to provide the precise temperature, precise humidity, and the gas concentration, which is carbon dioxide, inside the incubation chambers. And these kind of incubators, these are usually present in the advanced research laboratories to culture different type of cells or tissues. So these are the different kinds of incubators which are being used in different laboratories. The incubators, these are used for the incubation of any bacterial growth or any fungal growth or any cell or tissue culture, as well as different type of biological reactants, for example in Vidal, in Coombs, or any serological test, they are used for the incubation. And also these are used for the slow evaporation and drying of salts, and these are done only in dry incubators in which there is no humidity. So these kind of incubators are used for the slow evaporation and drying of salts. This is one model of incubator in which different parts are given, and the details are also given in the side, as we can have the door handle lock, there is a voltage meter, a timer, a digital control, temperature controller, and the other parts of the incubator chamber is given along with all the specifications. Now coming to the use and care of an incubator, that how will we use and how will we take care of an incubator. First of all, we have to read the manufacturer instructions, that how to use this machine and what the manufacturer is saying about the usage of this machine. Then for every machine there should be a stock record in which written SOPs are being present in them, and how to use that machine, how to take care of that machine, and how to maintain the machine, what are the maintaining procedure for the machine. This should be written in the stock register. Then positioning of the machine, it should be positioned on a level and uneven on a clear surface, and it should be ventilated. All the ventilated pores and the areas which are meant for the ventilation, so these areas should be clear of any obstruction, and there should be no blockage of such pores. If the display is absent in the machine, so Another point is to put any kind of thermometer in the exhaust hole or in the ventilator hole, from which we can know about the temperature inside the incubation chamber, and adjust the thermostat dial until the thermometer shows the correct reading as per the experiment requirement. Before incubating any culture, any kind of test or any other overnight incubation, you have to check the temperature as the incubation chamber have achieved or it is set on the required temperature or not. So before processing any sample, we have to check the temperature. Also clean the incubator regularly and make sure that before cleaning it is disconnected from the power supply. Check any signs of wear or any kinds of cuts or any kinds of cracks in every 3 to 6 months, and then maintain or repair any such kinds of signs. At the time of purchase, buy an extra thermostat or thermometer if it is any special type of incubation chamber and its parts are these are not available locally. So it should be noted that to buy an extra thermostat or thermometer at the time of buying. Now the cold incubators, refrigerators, freezers and deep freezers which are used in the laboratory, these are the equipments or the machines which are used to provide temperature below the room temperature, and most of them they will give you a range of about 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. The temperature range varies according to the need of the laboratory. For example, in certain labs the temperature may be above 8 degrees centigrade or 10 or 15 degrees centigrade, or in some labs the temperature may be below 0 or it may be minus degree centigrade or freezing degree centigrade. So usually cold incubators they work below the outer atmospheric or below the room temperature. The simple cold incubator, it operates between the temperature range of about 0 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade, and it is used for the incubation of storage of fluids, any kind of blood samples or culture samples or any other routine laboratory specimens which need to be processed or which need to be transported to the other lab. So they are incubated in a cold type of incubator, and its temperature control is more precise than the normal refrigerator. That's why they are called the cold incubators, because the sensors and all the instruments which is installed in the cold incubators, they are more precise than the routine refrigerator which is used in the home or in the laboratory. And some designs they are provided with the recorders of temperature and alarm system that if they cross the limits of the required temperature, so alarm system rings, and also they records the temperature throughout the week and throughout the day, that if there is any kind of deviation from the temperature or if we can check the temperature after that. The blood bank have a special type of cold incubator which operates the temperature at the range of 2 to 8 degrees centigrade to maintain the internal system within the blood bags. The refrigerators, so they are used to store any kind of laboratory reagents, body fluids, tissue or a routine test to be performed or any chemical substances. Some are provided with a freezer compartment, so we can place anything which required lower temperature. So for that purpose a freezer compartment is also given. Freezers and deep freezers, these the freezers they operates at the temperature below 0 degree centigrade, and the minimum temperature is about minus 20 degrees centigrade, and they are used to store the different types of serum samples or any kinds of reagents or tissue for a longer period of time than the routine, usually for the weeks or for the months. So freezers are used for this purpose. Deep freezers, which are used in the laboratory, they operate below the temperature of minus 20 degrees centigrade, and they can maintain the minimum temperature up to minus 80 degrees centigrade. These kind of deep freezers, they are used for the sample for the storage of different samples, the serum, the body fluids, any kind of reagents, any histopathological tissue. For longer period of time, almost for years, we can store any kind of sample in these deep freezers. Initially, the compressed gas in liquid form absorb heat from the interior of the cabinet and expand into a gaseous form. This is the area where compressed gas is present, and this gas is initially in the form of liquid form. So the vapors, the heat, it is absorbed by this gas, and this gas, it is converted into a gaseous form. Initially it was in liquid, and then it is converted into gaseous form after absorbing the heat from the chamber. It is brought into the compressor, and inside the compressor, the gas, it is again converted into liquid form, and during this process it gives out the heat to the exterior. So here the gas is converted into liquid form, and the heat, it is given to the external atmospheric condition with the help of this radiator fans and this condenser. So most commonly the gas which is used is called the freon gas. Routinely it is used in the cold refrigerators or the cold incubators, and if there is a need of a lower temperature below this, so for that purpose liquid nitrogen gas is used for a temperature lower than these. So this is the working principle of the cold incubators or the refrigerators. The components of the refrigerator or the cold incubators, first is the compressor. Compressor is a part which is used to compress the gas from gaseous form into a liquid form. So the gas is converted into liquid form. And then a condenser fan. This fan provides cooling for the temperature during processing. And the condenser coils, in these coils the gas turns into liquid and gives out the heat to the external environment. Then an evaporator fan, it cools the evaporating system of the cold incubators. And evaporator coils, these coils absorb heat from inside the cabinet and vaporize the liquid gas. Thermostat, it is a component, it is the part which sets the temperature limit inside the cabinet or inside the incubation chamber. Defrost system, it is a system which prevents frosting or which prevents freezing. This is only installed in cold incubators and refrigerators. The cabinet, it is the area in which articles or subjects are being placed for cooling, and it is insulated and divided into different compartments. The normal refrigerated area in case of refrigerator, and the freezing area. Door, switch and bulb, it is also a part of the refrigerators which are used in the lab and which are also used at home. Opening of the door, opening the door of the cabinet releases the switch that turns the bulb on, and closing the door presses the switch that turns off the bulb. And others which are present inside the cold incubators, temperature recorders to monitor temperature inside the cabinet. Some are provided with the alarm system, and that alarm system that activated when temperature is deviated or that is increased or decreased below the set values. And some incubators, they are provided with the digital display for the temperature inside the cabinet. Some incubators have a fan inside it to circulate the cold air throughout the incubation chamber. Now, how to take care of the machines in the laboratory which is used for the cold incubation purposes. The equipment should be placed against a wall which is a fire resistant, and it should be placed about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall. And the refrigerators, it should be placed on a wooden stand or in a horizontal position. The level should be checked with a spirit level. A 3-pin plug should be used to plug in the equipment because it is one of the most safe plug used for the equipment and for the electric purposes. Ensure that socket is properly earthed. The connection should not be loose as it may cause any fire or heat injury. The safety devices or alternative devices for stable voltage should be installed. For example, in an area where there is electric problems and there is load shedding, so other kinds of instruments and other kind of devices, it should be also installed for the stable voltage purposes. And the on off button of the refrigerator or any cold incubator, it should not be used frequently, and try to keep the fan free from any kind of objects or any kind of samples which is kept in front of the fan, because it will block the air circulation. So the areas which are away from the fan, they may be deviate from the set temperatures. Refrigerators should not be opened frequently or unnecessarily, and the door should be opened only when required, and also for a brief time, for a short time, as much as possible. The compressors should be protected from any kind of water, from any kind of other evaporators or any kind of corrosion. The coils and compressor, they should be cleaned periodically to keep these dust free and moisture free, and the interiors, they should be cleaned and disinfected time to time, and try to avoid any kind of spills within the refrigerator or within the cold incubators. And the ice which are formed, it should be removed frequently from the freezer or deep freezer by the process of defrosting. So this was the lecture about the cold and the hot type of incubators which are used in the laboratory. Hope you have learned much more about this. So till next lecture, Allah Hafiz. Thank you.